Hey everybody, and welcome back. Well, as you saw by the title, hopefully we're going to have our last video on this week. So I'm going to take the top end off. Obviously it only takes a couple of minutes because it's not really fastened down. Oh, I just remembered as well as I was moving this that I had a brand new, I think you can see this, chromed pancake type air filter. Don't know what I bought it for, but it wouldn't fit. But it fits on that, so that's nice. So yeah, we're going to take that off and put the piston on and put all that back together. And then when that's all on, I can drill a hole for the top mounting of the silencer. Then that'll be that done. We'll put the chain on because we've still got to check on the gear change here. You can hear it's raining. I think it's only going to rain today, but it's going to be only in the 60s this week. So a little cool. I've got to find a couple of bungee cords or some sort of rubber strap mounting to fasten the tank on. What else we've got to do on this? Oh, I've still got to put those measure up, make a couple of spaces for the bottom mount of the front suspension units, and then we'll put some two-stroke mixture in and actually see if it will run. And then that will be. Oh, I think I'm going to make a chain guard for it, and I'm going to see if I can make a chain tensioner. You know, this is all painted. I don't want to start welding on things, plus it's got the electronic ignition on it. But I think I can make a chain tensioner that will work off a plate on the plate for the chain guide. The big Enfield, the standard one, I didn't put a chain tensioner on that because, well, originally when I built it, it was almost going to be a show bike. I wasn't expecting to ride it. And when I did ride it, I found that the chain actually came off a couple of times because they didn't have chain tension originally, which is why I didn't put one on, same as this. So I put one on, which you could say it was, rather being a trailing chain tensioner with the chain going this direction, there was a mounting at the front, the same here, or a mounting towards the rear of the bike. So I made up a chain tensioner from the back so it was sort of leading, and it's worked fine. So I can do that. And prop stand, hang on, let me, oh, where is it? There it is. No, it's not. Oh, I must put it away again. Is that it? No, that's not it either. Anyway, when we get round to it, I'll show you later on. Because you remember I wondered about prop stand, how it was fitted and everything, and then I looked at a couple of photographs and I realised how they'd done it. So I'll show you that when we're over the other side of the bike. So my meandering belt there was a bit pointless. And that should be it. Alright, so can I think of anything else to say? No, don't think so. Okay, let's get on and get this project completed and running and take it out for a ride and see what these banana forks work like and see how this horrible two-stroke engine works and take it from there. And here's the piston we've all been waiting for. So I put the rings on. It's marked on the top. You know, it doesn't matter how many hundreds of times I've put rings on. Every time I'm going to break it, I'm going to break it. And look at this. In order to save themselves coppers, pennies on putting some printed instructions in, I had to get a magnifying glass to read this. And all it mentions, of course, is just, you know, stagger the piston rings, which we know, and to put the marked side up. Well, just as with this, you can barely see the marked side on the piston ring, so cheapskate. Anyway, as I say, there's an arrow on the top. I've already put one of these tiny little circlips in, so we're going to have to be careful putting them in. So let's go and put this on. Oh, one thing I noticed, I don't know, is it a two-stroke thing? Although the Japanese bikes, you can push the pin in. As you know, all the BSA and Triumph and all those piston rings, you have to warm them up because the piston rings, gudgeon pin, because the piston grips the pin and the pin turns in the small end. Alright, let's go and see if we can put this on the conrod. Alright, so here we go. I mentioned the piston rings actually because we've been wetting the piston and everything like that. When I was carrying the barrel, I was, don't drop this, you know, don't drop the piston, don't. So, and now I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Oil. Okay. Oil in there. This, make sure our little arrow is pointing the right way. I wonder if I should put a drop of oil on them as well then, seeing as it runs in those. I haven't worked on a two-stroke engine for, God, actually it's maybe when I fitted the Villiers 9E into my Tiger Cub and I was 19, so that's 50 odd years ago. Alright, now then, can we get this little here clip in? I put the other one in just for my fingernail. Of course you can't see me putting this in, but then if I had the camera around this side, my hands would be in the way. Oh, go on, the other one went in so nicely. Because you're watching, it's always the same. Whenever you people are watching, I can't get anything to... Go on, stick the end of this thing in under your fingernail. Oh, come on! It's almost in. But almost isn't it, is it? Just dropped it and it's gone right down there inside the bloody engine cradle. Ah. Oh. Oh, bugger me! So worried about it falling inside the engine. Let me fiddle on. Hooray! Make sure that's in. Okay, let's make sure it's in the other side. Well, that was a bit of a bugger, wasn't it? Okay. Just goes to show you. Right, I'll have that out of there. And we'll put oil in there on all those bearings, because it's been a while since we did this. Now then, get this the right way for the transfer ports. Because now is when I notice that I've put it on the wrong way around. No, I haven't. Well, that's something. It's riveting, this, isn't it? I have put it on the wrong way around. Case is wider on one side than it is on the other. Hang on. It's rounded on that side. That's it. It's always the little things. The devil is in the details, as they say. Come on now. And I hate these paper gaskets as well. It's like the piston rings. I'm always terrified I'm gonna... Alright. That's good. Don't need much, just a smear. Just a smear. There you go. I know a lot of you older folks remember Tony Hancock and the blood donor, which I'm sure a lot of us just about know verbatim. And when Patrick Cargill takes the little bit off his thumb to match to type the blood, and he says, right, okay, I'm off, you know, where's my tea and biscuits? And the doctor says to him, you know, you haven't given your blood yet. And he says, yes I have, there it was. And he says to him, that was just a smear. Tony Hancock says, it may be just a smear to you, mate, but it's life and death to some poor soul. Okay, let's make sure we put this on the right way up. Okay, that's down. Let's hope Dave put... Yeah, I watched Dave put a chamfer on this, so we should be alright. To help the rings go in, but as I say, I'm not totally au fait with two strokes. Is that thing still running, or did I hear it click? No, you're still running. God, you've been watching me for ages now. You must be fed up thinking, come on man, get on with it. Oh, I'm forgetting it's two-stroke. Doesn't this have a peg? Yes, of course it does. Oh, nearly slipped up big time then. Were you all shouting at me? Alright, where's this top one? going to be one complete video, isn't it? Putting a piston on. Come on, Peg, where are you? Hang on, let me switch you off. Alright, I've got the piston ring pegged. And also I've put something underneath the piston so that it doesn't keep moving around. Damn it, that ring's moved. Oh, tiny little piston rings. I hate this. No more two strokes for Michael. Pain in the ass these are. That bloody thing's moved off the pins again. Right. Oh, now where are they stuck in the bloody ports? Definitely no more two strokes. What the hell is this? Off you go again. Right, well, it's on after a lot of cursing. Sure, there's an easy way to do it, but it's going up and down all right. Everything seems fine. Bloody thing. Alright, now the next thing then is this gasket. Now this gasket's got a little hole in it, look. Where's the head? Is there... Obviously it's not an oil hole. I'm going to give this head a little rub on the surface plate. Alright, are you ready for this? Hope you can see this. There's the head. There's the gasket. It's nowhere near the same. I just do not believe this. Okay, let me turn you off while I go and have a little stomp around. Right, well, I just checked the parts book and it definitely shows a head gasket, so we'll get on and do the other stuff. And tomorrow morning, as I've mentioned before, that's one of the annoying things, being 5 hours different. I've got till, well, it's now coming up to 12 o'clock, so that's it. Villiers are closed. Actually, they're closed on a Wednesday as well. So tomorrow, this is only Monday, I will phone them tomorrow and see what the hell's going on. I mean, the base gasket was the right size. Okay, let's put a chain on. This isn't the easiest. Oh, I always have things in the wrong hand. Come on. Gonna be one of those days, people. Gee, me. Should have a long hook, shouldn't I? Oh. There's bloody things in the way. Everywhere. Come on, just pull through. There we go. Okay. Definitely going to need a tensioner, isn't it? Okay, let me mark this, shorten it, and the reason I've got gloves on is these new chainings. The stuff they have on them is awful. Okay, let me get this done. That's very loose, isn't it? Although it's in all the way. Right, that's the chain on. It's definitely going to need a chain tensioner because we're in one of those positions where it's either too tight or too slack. So we'll have to see. And we appear to be one gear out. Alright, there's neutral. That's in gear. It won't go any further that way. Back into neutral. See, that's second. See, that's third. And it won't go any further up. And this is definitely the 4-speed gearbox, not the 3-speed. So let's pop the end off the gearbox. So oh, that bearing's bloody come apart. Oh, what the? Can I get that out there? Oh, God. Excuse me. See, look, that's a loose roller bearing. I can't get the cover off to get at them with this on. So we're going to have to start dismantling. I thought I was just going to be able to pull this off, move that a notch, and be done. Alright. Right, so now I've calmed down. This did flick out. So I was able to get all those rollers out and I packed them in with some grease. Now, can you see this? There's a pop mark next to that tooth. But I can't see anything there. Let me get my torch, my flashlight. Alright, so now I'm really confused. I've got it in neutral. And funnily enough, when you have it in neutral, the mark is right there at the top, nice and easy to see. But of course, the mark, I'm going to swing you slightly. Oh dear. I'm going to put you on autofocus. I don't know if it will work. No, we're too close. It's out of focus, but you can see the mark there. Alright? But obviously that, I'm going to swing you again, is going to be on the bottom of that. So do we want that mark to be at the bottom? If I put that mark at the bottom, God knows what gear it's in. Or do they just do it to say, okay, you can see the mark up here when that tooth is on the opposite side. Anyway, that's what I'm going to try. So let me put a dab of white paint on that tooth so I can see it. Alright, let's give it a try. Gosh, you know, this is one of those jobs where if you have to put it together and take it back off again, all those rollers are going to fall out. So many things here to bloody line up as well. Clutch push rod down that hole. Kickstart into its bush. Now then. I would say that is going to have to go on. Oh, God, this doesn't save us. No, I can't see in there. Oh, come on, go on. Those bloody rollers have fallen out again. There's 2 rows of rollers. That's catching on the second row of rollers. I'm going to go and have lunch so I can calm down a little bit. What a bloody stupid design. Of course, it's Albion. I don't know what made them think they were gearbox specialists. Oh, hang on. Did that just need that jogging a little? Alright, see you in an hour or so. Alright, I'm back. I've calmed down. I'm chewing a piece of licorice. I love licorice. Right. I went online and searched for head gaskets. And it took me to the Villiers website, of course. And to the page for 37-day head gasket. But the gasket they sell, which is presumably that one, is for the Villiers barrel, and then it said in brackets afterwards, does not fit aftermarket or not compatible with aftermarket barrels. So then I did some more searching, and it would appear that this does not use a gasket. So what I'm going to do is I'll stuff a paper towel in there. As I say, I've already run this once on the service plate. I'm going to lap it in. See what happens. So that's that sorted. I've had a little look in there. Can you see that? Yep. And sure enough, there's 2 rows of rollers in there. On the bottom row, one of the rollers is sticking out. Where's that O-ring from? I thought I heard something drop down. I bet that's kickstart. Yeah, so that'll go in the case. That's a kickstart on the outside. So I'm going to have to fiddle around, because the one that sticks out, I was trying to push it back in and it won't go in. This sort of annoys me. Obviously I'm annoyed today. But you know, why can't they put a bearing in? What's with putting loose rollers in? It's like the BSA Triumph clutches. Why not just put a bearing in there? Enfield did it with a row of balls with like a lightly crimped up cage to hold them, but no, loose things. So I'm going to do this first, because needs doing rather than sticking around. And we'll lap that in. Alright, I fiddle around with a little probe, and these rollers are, I don't know, they're not 1/4 inch, let's say they're 3/16 inch rollers diameter. Well, they're sort of fractionally longer than 3/16. One of them in the bottom row had fallen over, so there was just that fraction, not enough space for the rollers to go in. So now they're all in and correct. We can give this another go. So that's got to go on there. That's got to go in there. That's got to go in there. And we need to be able to see that white tooth. Now that thing is where? There. So that's got to go in about. Isn't it? Whoop. Oh, that's jammed. Yep, and then that O-ring goes. Okay, let me put the nuts back on. So I've just put 3 nuts on. Let's see what happens. I knew this was going to happen. Look at that. Oh. Ooh. Why is that like that? I mean, oh, that's obviously not right. Let me take it apart again. Just to keep you appraised of how the day is going, cover won't come off. We definitely left that in the case, but now ooh. Right, I got the cover off. I have no idea what was holding it on. Well, it was this thing, but I don't know why. Anyway, I got a grip of the gear change teeth there with this. I twiddled that and turned the back wheel, and it's in neutral. And that thing is at the bottom. Okay? Just fractionally off the bottom. I mean, it's at like, oh, 6:30. It's not got around to 7 o'clock yet. My little rollers have stayed where they should be. So we'll give this another go. And that goes in there, that goes in there, that goes on there. I could do with one of those little lights on my head. But I don't have one of those little lights on my head. So can I? Of course it's going to swing just out of where I want it to be. That's just enough light. And that that shouldn't be that tight on there. That's in gear. That doesn't want to move. Oh, what is this? I'm going to turn you off again. So, I took the end cover off the other gearbox, which actually is remarkably nice inside. This is the one we're using. This is the one I've just taken off the other one. So look, all this is the same. But look, that has got a piece there with notches. That doesn't. Why? Let me go and look at the parts book a minute. Well, it doesn't show that in the parts book. And this mechanism, which looks to be exactly the same as that, apart from that, it has a sort of separate illustration and it says later pattern gear change. That is just about rubbing on there, whereas that is kept off by that. Let me take this off, put that thing under there, see what happens. Can't get any worse, can it? Alright, I've swapped them over, I've marked that tooth. Do you know, the plan for today was to do the top half of the engine and get it running and then do the gearbox tomorrow. So much for that. Yeah. I don't know why this kickstart shaft keeps sticking every time I try to take the cover back off, but that's what sticks. Right. Oh, now I haven't got the bloody hang on. Alright, got the gear change lever on now. This spring is a bloody pain in there. Alright, a new day dawns. Okay. Yesterday, as you saw, was highly annoying. In fact, I was doing the video last night and what you've just been watching, I deleted some of it because it just, you know, I'd keep videoing what I was doing and then sort of 5 minutes of video and I'd be absolutely beside myself. So you didn't even see the worst of it. But funnily enough, what you did miss, because the back, I had it off again. I made sure the rollers were right. There's 2 dowels in it. The bottom dowel was really tight, so I reamed the hole in the casing that it went into. I was sure I had everything right. I was just putting it together and I heard the camera go click. And I thought, bugger it. And it just went clink. Straight on. I mean, right up to the mating faces, everything. I bolted it up and, where are we? First. Come on, don't mess me about. Neutral. Second. Third. Fourth. Back into third. Second. Neutral. First. So it's all together. So I got all that done. I put the levers on and put bolts, pinch bolts in, and I also lapped the head in. Yeah, I don't suppose you'll be able to see it at this distance, but we're a nice grey there, and the same on the cast iron part, nice grey there. So we're going to put that on. And I looked up the torque settings, I managed to find them. Little quiz for you. Don't suppose anybody but the people in the UK will get it, and even then it will be a restricted number. But the torque setting for these is 2 little ducks foot-pounds. 2 little ducks. So how many of you know what number that is? And you'll also get an insight into one of the jobs I did when I was younger. And for those of you, I know I've got a couple of people from Teesside, older people. Do you remember the showboat? Because I used to work there doing that job. Alright, let me get ready to put this cylinder head on. Right, we've already had one false start. I started videoing, went to put the first bolt in and it wouldn't go in with the ignition coil on. So we'll try again. Actually, I'm going to turn you off because the video's long. It won't make you watch me just put these in. So that's that on and torqued down. Not without a problem. One of the long bolts was had a bad start thread, which I didn't realise. So let me put the exhaust on and the carburetor. So that's the carb and the air filter on and the exhaust on. So now what I've got to do is drill through here to get this mounting onto that. Alright, so the reason I'm not showing you stuff is because the video got to be very long and I want to get this finished in this week's video. So let me drill this hole. There, that's drilled. That's bolted up. So now that is really steady. Now I've also done one other thing. Did I tell you I torqued the head down? Anyway, I torqued the head down in an X pattern, just increasing the pressure a little bit at a time. Now, as you all know, I do not like using the frame as the sort of route for the earthing to go through. I like separate wires. So it was a bit difficult here. Normally I take it off like a rocker box because it's normally the BSA's off the rocker box bolts, but here of course I didn't have any. But handily there was this stud that comes through for the outer cover. So I've put the wire onto that and that goes up to the coil. So all the wiring is done now. The kill switch is connected and everything. So I have one engine mounting bolt to put in because it's got to be a stud. So I've got to make a stud up. It's like the one on the gearbox where it had to go through a hole. It's, hang on. Yeah, you can see. It's right under here. You can put it in from the other side, but it's so close to the case. Well, I might be able to grind. Well, then it's steel, it's painted. No. So it's a stud because you can't get a head through. And here, it's actually up behind there. And that's what this hole is for, I think. Because there's a big hole in here. And you can get at that nut. And then further back, there's another hole, which is just where the drain plug is for the gearbox. And yeah, round on the other side, that plate doesn't have any holes in it. So they're definitely cut for access. So let me get that bolt done, and then that's the engine all in tight, the rear suspension's in tight, exhaust's on, all this blah blah. Then we can put the tank on and see about putting some fuel in it. Right, we're nearly there. Got the engine all bolted in. That bolt has got to be one of the hardest bolts I ever had to get in anywhere. It's bloody ridiculous. Whether they expect you to take all this off first, which would mean the flywheel to get it out, I don't know. Anyway, everything's on. Just got a temporary rubber strap holding this on. And I have to get some foam for underneath it. Just put the tap on. So everything is ready. I've just ordered some bolts for the front because I didn't have any that I liked. I didn't want to use all threaded one. I wanted some that was solid, so I just ordered some. They'll be here tomorrow. So now all I'm looking for is some hose, and if I can find some hose, we'll actually have a go at starting it. Alright, so let me keep searching. Alright, we got petrol in it. George is here. He said, is it going to be 2 kicks? But it's a 2-stroke, so God, this thing is tall. And there's a lot of compression. God. I'm never going to be able to kickstart this with that footrest like that. Yeah. And a kickstart folds out further because even if it's actually the mount of the kickstart that it's catching on, okay, not the pedal. So the mount of the footrest rather. Oops, handlebars need. Oh. There, needs a full swing. What can I do? Have I got another kickstart that I can modify? Alright, we'll try again. And George's recommendation, and I realised I could take that footrest off, but it wasn't a through bolt. So that catches on the gear change lever and knocks it into gear. Oh, this bike will be the death of me. Alright, third time lucky. Possibly. Dead as a door now, isn't it? Where's the carb fitted? Well, that's a start. Carb's not flooding right, so I think we've got a little fuel blockage. It runs. And for all of you worried about how noisy the sound ceramic was going to be, that sounds pretty good to me. Alright. Right, it's Wednesday. You may notice a little blue haze up here. I've been fiddling a little with the carb settings. There's always a chance, of course, this is the old original Amel. So the throttle slide might be worn. It didn't seem to be too bad, but anyway, I've had a little fiddle with the air screw and the throttle stop, and it's warmed up now. Also, I found another kickstart. I'm just holding it up to this. That one is bent in a good bit, so that's certainly where it was catching on the gear change lever. But also I think that I can probably put a little bit, open this bend out a little bit. I can probably clear this with the footrest folded up, so just take the spring off, and I mean the BSA is full footrest up. Okay, let's see if this thing is going to prove me a liar. Compression on this is unbelievable. After, you know, my low compression 4 strokes, but let's see. it hasn't done that before. And as I say, I have no idea about two-strokes. It's been fine. I've started it a few times, got to set the tick over. Why is it suddenly racing like that? Oh dear. First and last two-stroke. Right, well, called my friend Mike for some two-stroke advice. So I might get the needle hanging up, which I checked, or an air leak. And when I got all the car and gave it a good wobble, I could just see it very fractionally moving. It wasn't completely tight. I worry about over tightening amels, because if you do, if they're bored and you over tighten them, it actually, the body warps. It happens with ram slide to Mikunis as well, and then the slide sticks and it'll stick, and you just slacken the manifold off a fraction and the slide moves again. So I'll take this carb off and check and make sure everything's good and it's got a good... Well, I put a new O-ring in, didn't I? But I'll take it off and surface plate it and the manifold. But now, you know, I wasn't planning to, but that's going to have to be it for this week. Will have to be 2 videos. Plus, another senior moment, folks. You know, I said I was ordering bolts. I've ordered them, and it just struck me, you know, another one of those random thoughts that pops into your mind. I ordered 3/8, and they're 5/16. So, okay. Anyway, it runs, it seems to run well. I'll have a go to get a better kickstart. And we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah, when I look at it, actually that kickstart is in a little bit, so I'll also check online. I might be able to get a kickstart that comes out a little bit further at the bottom, maybe a folding one at the bottom, something like that. Who knows? I could maybe even make a folding one out of where is it? Where have I put it? This one, seeing as I don't have a top for it. See if I can put a knuckle on here somewhere, like I did with the other one, with the BSA one. Anyway, that's that. So it runs, and as I say, the exhaust doesn't sound bad at all, and it hasn't blown all the packing out. A couple of people said, oh, with the packing in like that and the size of the mesh, it'll blow the packing out. I didn't see that happening. Anyway, that doesn't sound any louder to me than your average two-stroke that I hear at the trials. The TYs and the KTs and so on. So, yeah. So we'll have another video on this. We'll finish off chain tensioner, all that sort of stuff. And then I'll order some BSA parts and we'll get on with that. Okay people, that's it. Until next week, stay safe and enjoy yourselves.